Saturday morning, top-up show, Epsom Day. Gord's back, he's alive. And Glenn Pollitt, you're on your way to Randwick.
Yeah, I'm going to Randwick. Going to throw a bag of fruit on in a minute. Glad to see you back, Gordo.
Yeah, I feel fresh as a daisy and ready to tip some winners.
Yeah,
already posted a lot of stuff there in Gordo's goal. So.
Yeah, so you've been up and about in the chat room, so to speak. I see that Katie Mallion's got a big tip today, Glenn, something that James isn't writing. No problem there.
No problem.
James is writing the favourite. She's tipping something else.
By the way, this is the public show, guys.
Yes, I know. Anyway, Randwick today, and there's no great change to yesterday other than we've got Gord back. The wind is forecast. Yeah, scratchings are, well, it's a group racing day.
Yeah, you'd expect that.
There is one scratching, Savakul. She's in foal, so she ducked off after Wyong to have sex and came back, trialled at Rose Hill, and then Chris felt that it wasn't appropriate to run her in the Epsom, so she's out. All right, race one. There's Whale in the Bay here. Bet You're Flying is 8.50 into 5.50, so there's a bit of resistance to the favourite. Change of tactics on Opacity. Possibly more option to go more forward, and New King to be ridden more forward.
I don't know how New King's going to keep up to be ridden more forward, to be honest, but anyway.
Right. Well, I'll just share my screen. Gord, you're in the Opacity camp, judging by the chat room.
No, well, I like the tactics change announcement, of course. There's three chances in the race: Discharge, Opacity, and Bet You're Flying. I think the one that has the most upside out of those is Opacity, but it might have map issues.
Okay. Here's our where is it? There's our Betfair screen for you, Glenn.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look, somebody's had a bet.
Somebody's had a bet. Yeah, so good. Like 18,000 matched on Discharge. He's headed out to 3+. Not much activity on Opacity and a bit of action on the bottom one, who, as I mentioned, is 8 into 5. So interesting open to the card, just, a regulation race that
stocks
has got some interest. Discharge just looking for 3 on the trot, and lots of things to like about Discharge, Gord. Could you entertain backing it?
As I say, there's only 3 chances in the race. I could entertain backing all of them. But I mean, I'm not saying much as far as percentages are concerned there.
Yeah. Okay. The race is locked up at this stage. All right. So the 2-year-old. Well, this is the mover of the day into $1.55 fixed. That's Enthar. As you can see, there's 15,000 matched on the fair at the moment, and currently sitting well into the red there. I mean, lots of people have remarked, Gord, that this is the best trial of a sort of 2-year-old debutant they've ever seen.
This can't lose. It's a moral.
All right, and so you're suggesting that's a takeable price at the moment as well, that sort of $1.60.
I think when I posted this morning, I think there might have been still some 175 there or something.
Okay. All right, anything else to add here, Glenn? It's obviously a race where you'll be keen to look at them in the yard.
I can't look unless it's bat through. I think it can't lose, but I can't take that sort of price about horses that could be Shinsor, or anything,
Yeah.
I'll watch it go around. It'll win. I expect it to win.
All right. The 2-year-old Colts and Geldings race has got a bit more interest. I noticed I did have time to watch a bit of the mainstream previews around the place last night, and they seemed to be quite warm on Construct, which I must say we didn't really cover in the preview show.
No, we didn't cover because I thought it went really well in the trials, but I just thought I thought this is going to be third last on the inside there, and that's a tricky spot in these opening 2-year-old race. I'm surprised it's so well found, but it was a very nice trial.
Yeah, I think my point against it was that one of the sectionals perhaps flattered its finishing burst, but
I'm sure trial pers to the eye are like that media type watching it. They go, oh, look at this little black booker, but it is going to be 9th on the fence coming into the straight.
All right. Well, this is a race we really wanted Gord for. Any
no opinion.
No opinion.
Yeah, he couldn't really line up the trials of anything that I
I
clearly
know,
wanted
and then
to
Waller throws in a Gold Coast trial that shaped really nicely, but I don't know how obviously you can't line it up. And the other 2-year-old trial, there's 2 trials, both on the course proper, and both ran identical times, all ways. So
We didn't spoke about yesterday with the 2-year-old trials, and I believe it was last year. I didn't even notice it last year, but the favourite in the previous race, it ran the fastest time of the day, but the trial was 5 metres longer. Did you notice that?
yeah, they move. So what happens is nearly every set of trials, they move the barriers forward after a few trials, because they just say, oh, that's a bit worn, that bit, so we'll move it forward. It's routine, not at the provincials. It's routine at Warwick Farm.
Yeah.
That's the place that happens most. Like I'd say, nearly every trial set.
I don't know why I've never noticed that before. I've noticed it with other trials, but not with the 2-year-old trials. I've never noticed it.
Yeah, if you get ratings to win, when you don't even think about it, because of course the times are adjusted according to the distance, which they need to be. You need to.
Wow. Interesting. Anyway, I don't know why I haven't noticed.
All right, moving right along. Race 4, got the Hill Stakes, which Fierce Impact, who's I mentioned on the show yesterday, whose Sydney form is not that great, but obviously comes off a win beating the Cox Plate favourite, and Colding won sitting outside the lead last start, Gord, which seems to have merit. But anyway, at this stage, 6.5 matched on Fierce Impact. He's pretty much as you were. I would thought that Colding might have been a little bit closer to him, but not at this stage. $33.
Yeah, yet again, there's only 3 chances, 1, 2, and 8. Mate's got some sort of a chance at long odds. That's Dazuzart, who had some decent overseas start and was a decent run last start. So it's sort of the fresh sort of DF one that we haven't sort of lined up its ability yet and might have something. Fierce Impact, clearly the fact that it beat that horse that's favourite in the Cox Plate or whatever, that everybody in the Russian Camelot, that everybody's raving about. I'm not sure. I think the fact that it beat that horse means that it's being overplayed in the market, which means it's slightly too short for me to back. So, particularly with M. Smith being the trainer. I don't know. At those prices now, something small on Dazuzart and something small on Colding, and just hopefully the trip down to Melbourne has taken the sting out of Fierce Impact. All
right. Race 5 is this feature. It's D-Day for Hungry Heart, but it would seem that the setup is better than the last 2, Gord.
Yeah, but do you want to take short odds about a horse that has been beaten by the other chance in the race its previous 2 starts? That's a question for guys out there to make up their mind. It is interesting. I did chat to somebody who is a massive map-orientated bettor, which means he just pretty much looks for leaders all the time or go forward horses. And he was declaring Hungry Heart. So I always find it interesting when a guy who does his form one way has actually found the horse that doesn't sort of fit the profile he's normally looking for. So that would be a fair push to Hungry Heart.
That captures your attention when you know someone's MO and what they're tipping doesn't necessarily fit their MMO, and you're thinking, wow, that's a huge tip.
Yeah.
Anything to say, Glenn? Or
I keep seeing Hungry Heart 1 out, 1 back with Dame Giselle on the inside, but I don't know. I suppose Hungry Heart just gets so many map favours here. I suppose it wins.
But the thing is that I noticed that everyone just talks about barriers and maps all the time. It wasn't until I watched a bit of I watched Mark Sheen and Mark Roden and Peter Anthony's talk about the program. They did a good job, and then I watched Formline, and it's just maps, barriers, maps, barriers, maps, barriers. I mean, no one seems to talk about how good the horse is. Anyway,
I suppose because in New South Wales everyone just rides to the map.
Right.
Yeah, head to head this might. Oh, what about the footy last night? Gorby on the Roosters.
No, I actually rejected it. Oh, actually, I can't say that on this show. Okay, good. Yeah.
Anyway. You rejected going to the toilet in between half time.
Yeah.
Dear. All right. Well, D-Day for Nature Strip. Gord, I don't know if you've heard, but I've made the point that the wind could be something that's an issue in this race, simply because at this stage of the day, the wind from the northeast will be getting up, and that is a little bit of an impediment to Nature Strip, or certainly it's slightly in Classique's Legends' favour. What are you expecting from your poster boy today?
Well, the question mark is losing J-Mac in one trial and not actually pinging the lids in the trial that it was forced to have after falling off.
A smell of shiitake about him all of a sudden, doesn't he?
Reckon?
Yeah.
I think too much has been made of this.
Oh, but
it's not too much when you've taken even money for your last week's factory wages. Fucking it doesn't come out.
See, my theory on the wind in this circumstance, Mark, is Nature Strip is going to get complete control. He's going to run some pretty serious sectionals. But it also means that the horse coming from behind to take over it is going to have to run some insane sectionals to get past it. Now, to run insane sectionals to get past it when you're running into a headwind, I don't think he can do it. So, yeah, clearly Nature Strip on top.
But Gord, you say it's got to run insane sectionals. Skytrash went past Nature Strip like it was a fucking maiden. Why does it have to run insane sectionals?
Oh, well, 1,000 metres first up is just never Nature Strip's go, is it?
Yeah.
No, I mean he's It's
a poor setup for the favourite, guys.
You reckon?
Yeah, 1,000 to 1,200. Fucking McDonald
Yeah,
Airborne.
but hang on, how many laps of the Kensington track did he do after he dumped J-Mac?
I'd say, yeah. He's had a good hit out there with no jockey
He's like
on.
about fifth up here, isn't he?
I just think that everything you're saying, I don't see it that way, I suppose.
Well, there's only two chances. Make up your mind. I'm not knocking anybody that wants to run Black Classique Legend.
I think 2's just a better setup. 1,100.
It's a fascinating clash, isn't it? It is a fascinating clash because, Gord, you would argue that, it is game on here. It's not like, oh, well, this is just obvious and, Classique Legend is coming off as good as he could possibly come off, and Nature Strip gets the lead. It's the best, it's the best setup you can have.
I think there's a little bit more intent about Nature Strip due to what has happened recently as well.
Oh, okay, yeah, right. So it's not softly. We won't worry about anything that happens up until grand final day. Yeah, I see what you're saying. But it's like he's had to go back to the preliminary. What's the one you have to win? The sudden death, where
Oh yeah.
You're the minor premier. You lose the first match and you go back.
The must win. Yeah.
The rapid charge.
Yeah.
In the swimming, is that the word?
No, I don't know. It's but it's also the minor semi-final, or whatever the penultimate game is.
Sudden death.
This is the way I think about this race. I think Nature Strip is the best 1,200 metre horse by a fair margin in the whole of Australia. I'm getting better than even money, and there's only one danger. Shit, of course I'm going to get back it.
Okay.
All right. Well, can you bet in the Epsom, which is I'm not really tempted by, simply because I spent a long time trying to work out how to mark Star of the Seas, the sort of price he is, and couldn't get there. But felt that S. Clipperton and Nash and the run that it actually put in last start, it is a deserving favourite, isn't it, Gord?
Yeah, definitely. I'm kind of with you, Mark. In a super open race, do you really want to get involved in a horse that you haven't stamped as absolute A+, but always runs credible races in these kind of things? But two starts this preparation have been sensational. I get a massive jockey change. Got to mark it on top. Do I want to back it at $5.50? I don't know. Probably not.
Well, I suppose we'll have a good idea of the track here. So if Barrier 1 is going to be a problem, we'll know.
I've got to say it's the lowest $5.50 bet I've ever seen in my entire life.
That's what
it's a 14 to 1 chance. Come on.
Well, as I say,
are you 14 to 1 the field then, Glenn? Or because you got a market favourite, don't you?
Kind of.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not backing that theory, but I might be 7. I might be 7 or 10 to 1 the field.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, as I say,
if it's not the lowest bet I've ever seen, it's $5.50. I'll give up.
It does seem poison odds. Yeah. So look, 7 to 1 the field from me, and I mark probable favourite, but.
Yeah,
yes, Gord. Yes or no? They Funstar.
I'm definitely backing Funstar. No thinking there, just betting.
No thinking, just betting. Me too.
So, okay, so what's the weak link apart from the price on the start of the season? You're not bagging its chance; you're bagging its price.
Yeah.
What's
I think you can win the race.
Weak link chance in the race?
I think there's lots of 5%ers in there that have none, Mark.
All right. So, I mean, there seems to be a strong school of thought around for the bottom one, which is just.
See, there's 5% I give none to. Riadini.
Is it?
No. Riadini, 5% I give none to. Probabil's too short at 7s, but has a chance. Wild Planet, I think, taken up, 8% there. Maybe that's a bit too much percentage. Yulong Prince taken up 3%, probably too much. Brandenburg taken up 5%. That's far too much percentage. Imaging taken up 7.5%, too much. Mr. Seawolf taken up 5%, too much. So there's a lot of horses there taking up more percentage.
This is how you get clarity, Glenn. You don't go and allocate all this bloody percentage to these no-hopers. All right. That's good observation, Gord. Moving on to the Metrop, where this favourite is on the drift. If I can just bring it up. Speak of Mugget 2, and we need to get past the Probabeel Rock match race there. So yeah, 7,500 match there, well into the $3 range. So everyone has said 5-2 about this horse. Would you take 5-2, Glenn? I think Gord is.
I think 5-2 is like me is a sit on the fence type price for me. I don't really want to lay 5-2, and I don't really want to take 5-2. And I think around that range, if it gets to $4, it's probably a bet. But it's an interesting Metrop, and look, it's a horse that just keeps winning and jumping fences. I think if you've been on the Mugger 2 bandwagon, just keep backing it. I haven't been.
Yeah,
I don't mind. I like that sort of rationale. That the question mark is 2,400 metres. That's it.
So 2,300 metres was okay, but 2,400 metres is a problem.
Well, see, 2,300 metres is at a provincial track, Mark.
That's my question about the race. Is the Newcastle form, which look, they're weighing into Hush Rider here, and everyone's mentioned the fact that Paths of Glory was over the odds. Is that the right form? Because it, for starters, they watered the shit out of that track. It was actually wet. It was 5.1. It came out of, and you have a look at the kickback on the day, and you go, Jesus, Everyone's raving about what a dry track of rock is. He actually won on a wet track last start. Anyway, that's just a viewpoint. But look, the thing is that if you don't look at Newcastle, you start scratching your head about every other horse, don't you, Gord? Because there's just no obvious form elsewhere.
I'm happy to pin everything out of the Newcastle Cup except the winner, which is Mugger 2, because that was just a put in take out job. So Chris Lees wins his first ever Newcastle Cup. And, I've always had a massive opinion of this horse.
The firmer in this race is Zabrowski, as forecast by you yesterday, Glenn. It is D-Day for him, isn't it?
It is D-Day, and I was super warm yesterday, and I've cooled off overnight.
Well, the more you watch that lead up, the Kingston Town Stakes, the more you go, it just leaves it's like you've put a big piece of dough in your mouth.
I'm tipping Donegal Mist. That's what I'm tipping.
Donegal Mist. All right. My thought is the DF. It's number 3, Mirage Dancer. But it obviously doesn't fit my 2,400 metre profile. Okay. The Nightcap, which has actually seen a turnaround. Everyone in high-low camp, but it's lower. It's a theory has firmed up. So...
You're our man here, Gord. Two blues with 2 winning chances. Give us the winning one.
Can't lose number 4 high-low tomorrow.
I thought too.
All right. So any thought about how that form is coming out of that race? Which maybe you've already heard me mention.
No, I mean, obviously for 2 having the tough run, maybe put some sort of a dampener on that, and then Masked Crusader coming out. I think that's the right race, Mark, and this horse had upside off that run as well.
Yeah, look, it's one of those first blush horses that I've graved myself up on. But anyway, we'll wait and see. And obviously, the track pattern will be key to the betting in this race as well, because the theory is drawn gate 1, which is, that's a nightmare. The only thing I will say is that remember, was it 2 years ago that Snowden produced that non-winning mare that just basically won the 1200 and the 1200 with the breakthrough. We shall see. All right. Well, that's a look through Randwick. I think, Gord, you've posted something for Flemington in the chat room. How did the program look?
Oh, the program in Flemington is absolutely sensational. Like, juicy as no wonder the guys got so excited. And Glenn forgot to press record, I hear.
Oh, Azza, you mean?
Yeah, our Melbourne preview.
Yeah. So, did you hear that, Glenn? Azza was in charge of filming Lewis and Thomas Barwick and himself for a Melbourne preview, and he got
zoomed.
He sure did. So that's a bit of a.
Did they redo it?
No, they didn't. That's because they weren't being paid.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Poor bastard. The lowest feeling.
All right, now better find out for you what Dave Dwyer is up to today. There is a.
I'm sure he's betting.
he's betting. He's always betting. So it's Bob's, and there is is it a money back option for? There's a. Gee, now I've lost the. There was a Twitter competition to see which horse punters wanted their money back for second on, and the competition winner is Hungry Heart. It's fascinating, isn't it? So money back for second on Hungry Heart. If you bet with Dave, that's obviously up to a certain amount. I don't have the figure in front of me, but
wow.
T's and C's. So yes, Dave Dwyer betting Bob best of the best on most of the venues today. I'm not sure about the. I'm sure he'll be betting 110% on selected races at noon. I'm not sure which races they are, so maybe check in there. And as I say,
it's good we have a sponsor that we don't know any of the details of what's happening on the day on Epsom Day. Sounds like Racing Rant to me.
You know what? I might make it your job to find out, Glenn.
No.
All right. So those of you that are watching that didn't watch the previous show yesterday, obviously this is our entire Racing Rant community. The stewards, our appeal against the stewards was fundamentally unsuccessful on Thursday, despite looking like a better thing than Enthar.
We were $1.01 and got beat. It's the funniest thing of all time.
Oh, when I talked to Mark about it, and yeah, it sounded
it's just
sounded interesting.
Beyond belief. Anyway, I'll be penning a letter to Mr. Volandis this week and see what sort of response I got to get off him. I'm not even going to deal with Van Gestel ever again after that inquiry. That was interesting.
All right, so anyone who wants to catch up on all things Racing Rant, you're best off to be a subscriber. Silver or gold gets you access to the chat room. Goldies get a ton more content. I'm also in the process of trying to line up some more for Goldies. But in the meantime, Silvers are certainly well looked after in the chat room, which has got some great minds in there that are very, very willing and generous with their time and thoughts. And you wouldn't want to miss out on all our videos each week, and nor would you want not to be part of our community, because this is where the real things happen. Thanks for getting out of your sick bed, Gord. You
look all right to me, Gord. You're drinking Cokes.
He looks fine.
2 o'clock in the morning.
He looks fine.
No. I had my blood pressure tested on Thursday evening, and I was 170 over 122. And I woke up on Friday morning, and I thought I was having a heart attack. So, but I think I was just thinking that because I just got the reading the night. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like a mental.
Mine's 170 over 110 at the moment too. Is that a lot to do with these crap?
Pressure. Yeah.
No, you just don't sleep because you're always thinking about stupid things and then when you feel like you won, you've still lost. One day I'll get a correct weight go my way.
All right, one day, and hopefully it'll be today. So we'll catch you on Monday with the rant. I'm not sure, we haven't actually organised what we're doing because it's public holiday. It's Canterbury racing on Monday, but we shall see you.
We should make Gord do the show by himself. Square up.
See you soon.
I'll just ring in a guest. See you guys.
Bye.